Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So today I'm with my buddy Andrew. We're in Wales and we're here for the Sweet Lamb Adventure Bike Training Academy with Ducati. So sit back, relax and come along for the ride. So we've got a great lineup of the bikes today. These are all the Desert X's, and we've got the Desert X Rally. These are the ones that have got the KYB suspension. I think they've got the same engine setup. They're all 110 brake horsepower, 92 Newton meters of torque. And like I say, we're here for the weekend to do a level 1 training course. So here we go, guys. I'm getting onto the Desert X Rally. The first thing I found with this bike is getting it off the side stand is quite difficult. You can see they're quite high bikes, 910mm. I think the standard Desert X is about 870. It's about 40mm lower than this one, although you can get a lower seat. This bike next to me, it's got a split seat. This is like a one-piece seat. Basically, we're here for a weekend to do the level 1 DRE course through Ducati in Wales, and we'll get to change the bikes around a little bit. We get to swap over if we want. And yeah, for me it was all about, you know, I'm in the market for a middleweight adventure bike, and I thought this was a fantastic way to come and try the bikes, actually use them for the purpose they're built for. So later on today I'll probably do a swap with one of the other guys, jump on the standard Desert X, because this one's coming in at 19 grand. It's a lot of pennies. And I think the Desert X, the standard one's 15,000. This one's got the KYB suspension. They've got the same setup engine wise. We've got them in enduro mode at the minute, and I think we're pretty much going to keep them in that for the day, which reduces the engine power down to 75 brake horsepower. In rally mode, which takes all the electronics off, including wheelie control, we'll put it into 110 brake horsepower. It's got things like the quick shifter. Like I said, that KYB suspension is absolutely top of the range. But it'll be interesting to see, with the £4 grand price difference, whether it's actually worth buying the Desert X or the Desert X Rally. Is this designed for your Dakar rally style guy? Like I say, today it's just going to be kind of like bedding into the bike, learning the basics, then tomorrow we move on to a bit more advanced stuff. So like I said, there's 3 levels you can do. This is level 1. It is a course I've paid for. It's £599 for a weekend, and I think that's an absolute bargain. Unfortunately, they're not allowing me to film the instruction side of it, so I'll try and get as much footage as I can on the bike and just tell you what we're actually doing over the day. Just so if you decide you want to do something like this, you can do. Like always, I'll pop the links in the description so you can check it out for yourself. This is the only one in the UK, by the way, and as you can see, it's a beautiful day. So yeah, we're just doing a few laps on the flat here, and obviously we can see we've got a few areas where it looks like we're going to be doing a few little mounds and things like that. And so we've just done a little bit of a brake test. We've not really gotten the front brake yet. It's all about just covering your controls. I think now we're just going to head up into the hills a little bit and just kind of get used to riding the bikes before we move on to the next bit. But so far, great. I mean, it's kicking a bit of dust up, but I prefer that. It's nice and dry. It looks like we might have a bit of rain coming in later, but this is Wales. Anything can happen. It can be a bit daunting if you've done no kind of off-road riding before, which I've done a little bit, and it's all about getting that clutch control with the throttle. But as you can see, this is the absolute perfect place to do this. Watch out for all these sheep, they can be a bit unpredictable. But the standing up position, which I'm doing at the minute, is really nice as well, really comfortable on the bike. And it's also learning to trust the brakes, as in, you know, the ABS on the front. It was demonstrated by one of the instructors earlier on that, you know, you can really whack on that front brake, and you've got to put your trust in the ABS. I mean, the electronics on these bikes are absolutely superb. So one of the things we've just done, we've just had a quick stop to get a bit of water, but you can probably see that hill. I mean, sometimes the camera just doesn't do it justice, but yeah, we've just been literally turning the engines off and rolling down this just purely to get that control on the back brake again. So once again, let's get back on the bike. I tell you what is a little bit awkward, getting off the side stand when you sat on the bike. I think sometimes you're better off actually putting the side stand up before you get on. So the back brake's more designed for bringing the bike to a controlled stop, not actually bringing the bike to a stop. So yeah, we're doing the same thing again. We're just kind of rolling down without the engine running. We're covering some speed. We're up to 20 miles an hour. And we're just applying that back brake just to gain that control of the bike again without skidding the back wheel. That's the key. So yeah, we're doing the same thing again, rolling down the hill, but this time we're going to add some of the front brake as well, and going to get up to that 25 mile an hour, but we're applying the back brake first and then the front brake. And then you start to feel the difference. What you don't want to do is get straight on that front brake, because it will just let the front wheel tuck and then you'll be off. Oh, these bikes are so tall. You've really got to think about where you park them, but it's all right if you just move your body through one side or the other. I think everybody's having a great day. Yeah, I'm going to be intrigued to jump on the Desert X. Like I said, this is the rally version of the two. So the engine that they use in this bike is the 937cc L twin that they also use in things like the 937cc Ducati Monster SP and also the V2S Multistrada. Get on the pegs, feels really comfortable. Just starting to feel at ease with the bike now. Initially when you get on them, they can be a little bit daunting. You know, the big bikes, the seat height's quite high, but don't let that put you off. But so far so good. Certainly taking in a lot of information, and it's new stuff to me, and I think it's absolutely invaluable, to be honest. And this is what it is. It's all about building them stepping stones, them blocks. Like I say, this is level 1 we're on, and then you can progress to level 2 and level 3 where it gets really advanced. Right, so for that bit we've just been on this flat again, going around, correcting that body position and practicing with the brakes. But yeah, the instructors here are purely looking how we're stood on the bike. I'm quite surprised how light the actual bike feels, but this bike's a 21 litre tank. I think it's got a full fuel tank as well by the looking on that dash. I think it weighs something like 223 kilos wet weight. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it does actually feel pretty light and nimble. But yeah, what a fantastic location for doing this. While building them revs up, you know, that traction control just sort of kick in, but you do feel safe on the bike. Just trusting those electronics. You've really got to go easy on the back brake. So the instructors are sort of dotted all over the place, and you know, they're watching you. So after doing a few loops around there, I think everybody's pretty much got the stance that they're looking for. So yeah, this bit's is what they call the landing strip, and we're basically just doing like a bit of a loop round really. The terrain's getting a little bit more mixed. There's a couple of light water splashes, but they've just been saying to us we kind of need to up the pace a little bit, because when you're riding slower the suspension's not working correctly, so just a little bit quicker. Like I say, it's just about putting it all together really, and it is going to take a little bit of time, but the instruction's really good here. So anybody that's been following my channel will probably know I've been on the hunt for a new middleweight adventure bike, because I fancy chopping in the Multistrada V4S for something a bit more so I can usable on the trails like this. and something a little bit lighter. And like I said, this bike does feel like it's really surprising, because I thought it'd be totally the opposite. But yeah, so far I'm impressed with this bike. I'm not impressed with the seat height. I don't know if this afternoon I'll probably jump on maybe the Desert X and hopefully give you guys a little, what I think is a comparison between the two. Okay, so I think that's the first half of the day done, and we're just going to head and go get a bit of lunch before we're out for this afternoon. Right, so we've just had lunch and everybody's getting kitted up for this afternoon's ride. I think we're going to go try some cornering, but I've just swapped my Desert X Rally with the standard bike, so I'm going to have a go on this one. And that's a good thing about these weekends. You can try other bikes out. As soon as I've got on it, I can more or less, I wouldn't say flat foot, I'm kind of on the balls of my feet, but on the Rally I was proper on my toes. But like I said, the seat widths are quite thin, so you can manoeuvre around on the bike. The engine's the same on the bike, it's still 110 horsepower, still got that 92 newton meters of torque, so it's not got the KYB suspension on, but that means this bike is £15,000, which is £4,000 cheaper than the Rally. I mean, the brakes are the same, the riding position feels the same. So yeah, we had a little downpour just while I was having lunch, so luckily it might have settled the dust slightly, but it did stop raining, which is good. In fact, the brakes are just phenomenal on these bikes. So yeah, we're just off to the flat again so we can just do a bit of cornering. I kind of know where I'm going wrong. That's good, because then you can work on it. If you don't know where you're going wrong, we've got a bit of a problem. Exactly. Yeah, it's because I'm watching Andrew go first, you see. And I keep copying you. Well, I've completely fucked up. So yeah, it is absolutely chucking it down now. This can only happen in Wales. Bright blue skies and raining. You know, it'll settle the dust though. Yeah, I kind of forgot to mention the tyres on these bikes. So you've got the STRs, which are Pirelli tyres, and the ones that are on these bikes are the STR Rally tyres. So very similar to the STRs, but a lot more grip for this type of terrain. Yeah, that suspension's definitely not as plush as the KYB on the Rally bike, that's for sure. But then again, you know, you'd like to think that there's quite a difference, because there's a difference in the price. But I think for the people that are interested in buying the Rally, it actually works out better value for money, because if you bought a Desert X and went to put that KYB suspension on the bike, it would cost you about £5,000, and then you've got to have it set up, and so you actually save money by buying it complete on the Rally bike. So yeah, this is what we're just practicing at the minute. If you can see on camera there, where we're sitting down, we're using counteracting the body weight to compress the tyres into the ground so you don't get no slippage. So it's quite difficult, because, you know, last week I was on track for a bit, and you do completely the opposite. So with this, you're kind of keeping the elbow up, the arm straight, your butt cheek right off the seat and going the opposite way. It's just getting your head around that motion. But a bit of practice makes perfect. So yeah, we're just putting into practice what we've just been learning on the flat there, and that's kind of, you know, getting your weight over, compressing that front tyre down into the bit of dirt. You know, this is the problem when you're so used to road riding. It just feels absolutely alien to kind of hang off the left hand side of the bike when you're doing a right hand turn, but it does make it a lot sharper. You've got to remember to feather that clutch as well. But it does work, you know. These techniques are bringing it all together today. It just shows you how tight you can take the corners. So yeah, we're pretty much getting towards the end of the day, and now we're just going to go for a ride just to kind of put everything into context, really. Try and work on what we're struggling with. Everybody's got their strengths and weaknesses. So today has been an absolute education for me, and like I say, it's a 2-day course, this one, so I'll see you guys in the morning.